Imagine the horror, the intense, chilling horror, of discovering a body not in a grave, but in a septic tank. This gruesome reality became the nightmare of a small village when 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 Chinedu, a British woman, was found dead under such shocking circumstances. The serene facade of Sinchang village was shattered, as beneath it lurked a story so macabre that it gripped the locals with fear and disbelief. When the police arrived at 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 Chinedu's compound, the atmosphere was tense. The witness, Officer 𝒂𝒊𝒏, narrated the eerie silence that enveloped the area. Following a trail of dragging marks, they approached an old septic tank. Officer 𝒂𝒏𝒔 described the grim discovery. As he descended into the dank, dark tank, the sight that met his eyes was unthinkable. A human leg protruding from beneath the sand. The air was thick, the silence suffocating. He urgently called for backup. Soon the site swarmed with emergency services, each step in their operation heavy with the weight of what had been uncovered. In the courtroom, Officer 𝒂𝒏𝒔 stood firm, recounting each detail. He described how 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 was found, dressed in tights and sports shoes, her dreadlocks tangled, a wound visible on her forehead. The body's retrieval was painstaking. Each move was calculated, preserving the integrity of the scene. The officer's testimony outlined the meticulous process, emphasizing the care taken to gather every possible piece of evidence. Questions arose about other signs at the scene. Officer 𝒂𝒏𝒔 confirmed. The sand scattered around the septic tank had been disturbed, suggesting efforts to conceal the body. Forensic experts took the stand next, detailing their findings. The sand from the septic tank held crucial evidence: fibers, footprints, and traces of blood that painted a grim picture of 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏's last moments. The analysis was thorough. Each clue was dissected. Each piece of evidence linked back to the timeline of 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏's disappearance. The septic tank, a silent witness, had much to tell. Discussions in court turned technical, focusing on the forensic intricacies. The evidence was compelling, pointing investigators in new directions, guiding them closer to the truth. Identity and background of the victim. 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 Chinedu, a British expatriate, had found a semblance of home in the quiet village. Her life, as pieced together by friends and documents, revealed a woman passionate about community work, loved by many. Her journey to the village was marked by goodwill. She had plans to start a small business. Yet beneath the surface, there were undercurrents of discord, hints of disputes that might have led to her tragic end. The courtroom listened intently as the layers of her life were unveiled, each revealing more about the circumstances that could have led to someone wanting her harm. The role of local authorities. The local police and fire services faced scrutiny. Their response time, actions taken at the scene, and the initial investigation phases were under the magnifying glass. Challenges were many: the rural setting, limited resources, and the sheer unexpected nature of the crime. Yet the authorities were determined, their efforts relentless in seeking justice for 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏. Jurisdictional discussions arose, complicating the proceedings. Yet the commitment to solve the mystery was unwavering, shared by all branches of local law enforcement. Witnesses and their accounts. Multiple witnesses took the stand, each adding pieces to the puzzle. Neighbors, friends, and passers-by. Each had a story, a sighting, a suspicion. Inconsistencies were apparent, yet each testimony was vital. They painted a picture of the days leading up to the discovery, providing context and potential leads. The relationship dynamics, previously unnoticed, now formed a critical part of understanding the motive behind the heinous act. The community was shaken. The safety they once took for granted was now questioned. Meetings were held, safety measures discussed, an effort to reclaim the peace that was so brutally disrupted. The impact was profound. Trust was shaken, and the fear of unknown dangers loomed large. Yet, the community's resolve to support the investigation and seek justice for 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 was strong. Safety initiatives were introduced. The incident, though tragic, sparked a movement towards greater communal protection and awareness. The court proceedings were complex. Charges were filed, suspects brought forward, each session adding to the legal tapestry of the case. Legal hurdles were many: evidence handling, witness protection, and procedural complexities. Yet, each hurdle was met with rigorous legal scrutiny, ensuring a fair and thorough process. The courtroom battles were intense, each day bringing the community closer to understanding the truth behind Shekinah's untimely demise. Experts provided insights into the possible psychological makeup of the perpetrator. Traits of aggression, possible motives, and behavioral patterns were discussed. The crime's impact on the village was also analyzed. The collective trauma, the mourning of a lost safety, and the psychological healing process were explored in depth. The state of Shekinah's mental health was also considered, providing a fuller picture of her life and struggles prior to the tragic event. The media played a pivotal role. Their coverage brought national attention, urging quicker responses and more thorough investigations. Public interest was piqued, people followed every development, discussed every revelation. This pressure, while overwhelming, also ensured that the case did not fade into obscurity. Ethical considerations were debated. How much was too much? The balance between informative and intrusive was a constant challenge for journalists covering the case. As the case continues, its implications resonate far beyond the confines of the courtroom. It is a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities and dangers that can lurk in the most unsuspecting places. Reflecting on this case, one cannot help but ponder the broader societal implications, issues of safety, trust, and justice. The community, though scarred, remains hopeful for justice and a return to peace. In the end, the quest for truth and justice in the chilling case of Shekinah Chinedu remains a poignant testament to the resilience of a community in the face of unspeakable tragedy.